Hello, hello, hello. I am glad I am able to do this call for you guys tonight. Thank you for coming out. I'm really excited about this. And one thing I love about this call, this format, this content, whatever you want to call it, we speak the truth. What I mean by that is I have been on so many of these calls. I've hosted so many of these calls. I've heard of almost every opportunity known to man. Maybe not every, but I've heard a lot. And very rarely do they show what I'm about to show you tonight. The truth behind e-commerce, the truth behind networking, the truth behind all sorts of different things. I like doing this because anytime I make a decision whether or not I want to participate in a business opportunity, I like to dig a little bit. I like to do my due diligence. I like to know what it is I'm getting into, and I like to know the truth. So let's go ahead and talk about how you can become a member of what I like to call the big leagues, how you can lock arms and share revenue with large companies, already existing companies, companies that already have products that people know, a product people buy, products people trust, and you get to share the revenue with them as opposed to competing against them. So much better. But before we get into all that, let me talk about discount shopping and how big discount shopping has become, and also how big online shopping has become. So I always quote my sources, look at the bottom, Wikipedia, core site research, all sorts of different things. I've had e-commerce. I've had brick and mortar. I've been an entrepreneur for over 20 years. I had up to 75 employees at one time with one of my business ventures. I had 35 employees at another. Been there, done that. I've got the scars to prove it, and I have the success to prove it as well, because I've had successes and I've had others, places that haven't been as successful. I've had both. Been an entrepreneur, like I said, a long time. 2019 was not a very good year for brick and mortar. Neither was 2018, actually, but 2019 was horrible. So many, they call it the apocalypse, the retail apocalypse. A lot of these online stores just wiping them out because people like the convenience. They like having things shipped. They don't like to go outside and shop as much anymore. They like the deals that they find online. We're going to go through some of the numbers. It may surprise, it may even shock some of you what the margins are online that you make when you're in online retail. It's not as high as people think. It was a few years back, but every year when more and more stores enter into the e-commerce space, the margins become tighter, which makes sense because there's more competition. That's just the way it works. That's the way the free market works, right? Online retail sales in the United States now account for 16% of the total. You may have thought it was higher, but they will likely rise to over 25% by 2026. But here's an interesting stat right here. For every 1% increase in online sales, it will result about 8,000 to 8,500 brick and mortar stores to close. That is alarming. But I've seen it. We've all seen it. So the most productive retailers in the United States during the retail apocalypse are the discount superstores. Walmart, Target, places like that. People like a good deal. And when the economy goes down a little bit, it tweaks a little bit, things of that sort, people are always looking to save money. Even when the economy is good, people are looking to save money. We're always looking for a better deal because we have Google. We can find a better deal. It's too easy to find nowadays. It's just type in the search and find it. That's what's so amazing about what we've got for you tonight, what I want to show you. But again, before I get into that, let's talk about e-commerce a little bit. You have decisions. Anytime somebody comes to you with a business opportunity, you have decisions. You can do the brick and mortar, you can do e-commerce, you can create a service, whatever it may be. There's a lot of different opportunities out there. What I've got right here, what we've got, is absolutely incredible. It's almost mind-boggling. There was an announcement that was made today that I'll announce later in this call as well. Just fresh, right off the press. Just announced it about 10 minutes ago. I will share that with you towards the end of this call. Really, really exciting about how we can receive residual commissions on one of the items that we have. But let's talk about the margins in retail right now. And e-commerce, about 3.5%. Is about what you make when you sell a product. That means for every $100 of product you sell online, you make about $3.50. And why is it so low? Easy, because there's a lot of stores. Again, it all goes back to competition. So the big stores, they make a lot of money because they sell a lot of product. So one thing you can do, you can try to sell higher end products that cost maybe $500 and up, or who knows, whatever it may be, to make a little bit more money. But the margins aren't that high anymore. And again, they just decrease because of the competition. Let's talk about the average cost of an e-commerce store. I had a guest on here. I know she's on this call tonight as well. But I had a guest recently that I spoke with and put on 2 of these calls actually. And I went over those numbers and she said, John, you're being too nice. You're being too conservative. And I kind of was. So I want to kind of give you more raw numbers tonight. If you go out and say, I want to start a legitimate business right now online, because that's where all the retail's going. If you're going to do retail, you've got to have an online presence. So say you go and you purchase your website. It's about $5,000 bare bones minimum for a decent e-commerce site. $10,000. I have it up to 10, but it's actually up to about 100,000. But let's say 10,000. 10,000 will get you a pretty decent site for e-commerce, especially as a starter. Cost of the domain name, $10 a year, not that big of a deal. But here's where they get you. Cost of hosting, about $300 a month. Then the average cost of marketing, about $1,550 a month. National marketing, if you want to run search engine optimization, which means you want to be number 1 on Google everywhere, starts out about $5,000 a month and keeps going up. So let's kind of crunch these numbers together, put it on an annual basis. It would cost you in year 1 about $2,267 a month, and that does not include the national marketing. That's local search engine optimization, pay-per-click, whatever. There's going to be a mix and match, things of that sort. The number does include the low end of the website cost. So year 2, about $1,800 a month, but again, does not include the national SEO. We took out the cost of your website. Think about this. Between 12 million and 24 million stores at any given time, 650,000 of them or less only create $1,000 of sales in a given year. Well, if they're creating $1,000 of sales and my monthly costs exceed over $2,000, that's tough. And about 2.7 to 5.4% of the stores online stay online. Most of them close down. Very few stores survive online. Again, the competition. It's fierce out there. So the average survival rate of retailers on or offline is actually overall is below 2%. And I'm not doing this to scare people or things like that. So I'm just being honest with you. The reason I am is because there's a better way. There is a better way. Instead of competing against these major retailers that are just going to hammer you and hammer you and hammer you, how amazing would it be if you can lock arms with them and earn money off of their sales? And you're probably asking yourself, why in the world would they even do this? Why would they offer this to us? Easy. Because they have the Goliath now. They have the giant that they're chasing. They have a place called Amazon and places like Amazon, these big marketplaces that are selling so many products, and they've got to compete. So now it's created a window. It's created an opportunity for us to lock arms with them. Let them spend the money on the marketing. Let them put the name out there. Let them ship the product. Let them drop ship. Let them do whatever they need to do. Store it, warehouse it. Let them pay all of these hard costs, all these direct and indirect costs for employees and everything else, and just share revenue with them. That is so much better, because I don't want to have to sell $100,000 of product to gross $1,200 a month. I don't want to have to do that. What if I showed you an opportunity for only $50 a month, and you can save more than $50 a month as a consumer immediately which means your marketing costs are pretty much zero per month. Because if you're saving more than you're spending, then you've got to add that in. You've got to calculate that to your overall business overhead. Because being in the business, you're able to save. If you're not part of the business, you won't receive these savings. So calculate that in. Where's the risk? Where's the risk of $0 a month? Because I can tell you right now, I saved $278 my first week. And that was before we had many, many additional products and services. I saved over $4,700 on a car, $3,200 on my daughter's car. I've saved a small fortune on traveling, different hotels. I've saved on dining. I've saved on our online global mall now. I'm saving all over the place. And I'm not the only one. There's a lot of members taking advantage of the savings. We'll talk about the importance of offering customers, the end user, a better deal than what they're paying for. Anytime somebody spends money, he or she needs to receive equal or greater value of what the money they're spending, or they will discontinue their spending. That's one of the biggest rules in business. Your offering's got to match or actually be better than what they're paying if you want any retention at all. But with what we're doing, you've got that. You've got that in spades. And you've got the ability to stack commissions, and we'll talk about all that as well as we go through this presentation. So that's e-commerce. What's the old saying? If you can't beat them, join them. Join with these large retailers. We'll talk about who some of them are as well. So let's talk about our next competitor, because you have other options. Let's talk about typical network marketing. Let's talk about the biggest killer in network marketing right now, and it has been for a long, long time. As many of those products are priced above the general market, meaning I can go purchase a similar product, similar juice, similar powder, similar pill, whatever it may be, somewhere else for less money as a consumer. And because of that, the retention is horrible. In fact, the retention is 15%. 15%. There's been several studies that suggest if you make at least $1 a month in any of those plans, the retention is over 70%, which means most people aren't making $1 or more a month because their retention is only 15%. But what if in this one you can save more than $1 a month? Would you really go anywhere? Are you going to stop paying Costco because you have an annual fee? But if you do the math, you probably saved a lot more than you spent on that annual fee. Would you ever leave as a consumer? I wouldn't. I certainly wouldn't. People pay for discounted services. I'd say huge market for it. It's a huge, huge market for it. So let's go overpriced products versus discounted products and services. Because the golden rule, again, if the customer wins, you win. So typical network marketing, as I was saying, more than 73% of the members actually lose money. About 20% break even, 7% actually profit. And out of that 7%, about 1 to 3% make that big life-changing money that they always talk about. Why? Why? Because of the cost of the products in many of those cases. If you cannot keep a customer satisfied or happy, it is very hard to sustain a business. Let me give you an example. If I had a karate dojo, for example, and I taught, karate, I guess. I taught this karate. And then there's a dojo right next to me, maybe 4 blocks away, and they taught the same style. I charged $200 a month. He charged $100 a month. Who would have the most students? Very similar teaching styles, everything the same. Who would have more students? He would. He's charging half of what I charge. So let's plug that into this model. If I'm selling a bottle of juice or 4 bottles of juice for $200 a month or whatever it may be, and my customer can buy that same thing for 25 to 50% less somewhere else, where are they going to buy it from? Think about that for a moment, because that's what happens all the time. And it's hard to sustain that business model. You can argue and say, well, they're also getting a business opportunity. True, they are. But what's the opportunity they're receiving? They're receiving the same opportunity most people receive. The opportunity is go sell this overpriced product to somebody else. That's the opportunity. And it's tough. That's why only 1 to 3% of the people make that great big money, because only 1 to 3% of the people can seem to do that. Those are the real numbers. And again, I'm not saying it's terrible. I'm just saying it's not for everyone. The average person is very, very, very difficult for the average person, the little guy, to go make money in these programs. It is. The cards are stacked up against you. That's why I'm so excited to share this program with you. Because if they could just adjust it and make it to where the consumer wins, it could change the way it's done. But they can't. They can't. Many have tried it. Why can't they do it? Because they've got to pay all their distributors. They got to pay all their members as much as they can. At least, 20%'s got to break even. They got to pay them back for that product that they're spending. They got to, 7%'s got to profit. So they've got to pay a lot of money out. So because of that, they have these additional costs, and it's hard for them to keep that product pricing low. That's how it works. That's the truth. So what about a discounted networking company where you can have the good stuff about net? What are some good things about networking? I'll tell you the best thing about networking: free word of mouth marketing. It's free. If somebody says, hey, I just found a killer deal and I want to share it with you, and you make money on that, that's free advertising for you. Free marketing. That is a pro of network marketing. That's fantastic. A company that with discounted products and services for your consumer. Add that to the fact that you don't have to compete against the big guys because you're reselling their items. All you're doing is redirecting spending, and you're getting paid for it. Imagine for one moment if every single time somebody you knew that you referred went to Costco and put an item in his or her basket that you received a commission on. How cool would that be? What if you referred somebody to Amazon Prime, and every time he or she used Amazon Prime, you got paid? Would that be exciting? So I can tell you right now, these are discounted marketplaces. Are they sustainable? I don't know. How big is Costco? How big is Amazon Prime? How big is AAA? How big are so many of the other discounted marketplaces? They're huge. They're massive. Yes, it's sustainable. Of course it's sustainable because the end consumer is getting a better deal. So what do your customers receive? Which you can also call charter members in our network. Can you say discounts? Can you say thousands of discounts? Can you say potentially hundreds of thousands? And I'll show you here why I said that in a minute. And cash back on auto, so cars, mortgages, travel, dining, entertainment, online shopping, prescriptions, medications, mobile services, and much more. Let's talk about mobile services for a minute. That was the announcement I told you about that was just made about 10-15 minutes ago. Now every single time somebody saves on a phone through our network, which many people, thousands, we moved to over 8,000 phones in about a month and a half for Sprint. They could not believe it. So they came to us and said, look, we want to go direct with you. We don't want you to be a third-party reseller anymore. We want to work with you direct. Well, today it was announced that every single time someone makes a cell phone payment, when they change their phone over because they're going to get a better deal through us, you get a monthly commission for 2 years. You'll also receive a small commission when they make the switch, just because somebody saved money on their phone payment. I can tell you right now, people are saving on average a lot more than $50 a month, because on average they're changing over about 4 phones per family. I've seen savings beyond $200. I've seen testimonials for over $300 in savings. I have seen ridiculous testimonies. It's amazing. They're paying $50, and that's on one of our verticals. $4,700 saving on my car. How do I know it's $4,700? Easy. I like math. I have purchased the same vehicles or purchased vehicles from the same place. My last 7 cars was at CarMax. I'm not bashing CarMax. I love CarMax. That's why I bought 7 cars from them. But they couldn't give me the deal that our network gave me. It wasn't even close. Wasn't even close. I bought a Dodge Ram within 150 miles. I looked at all the Rams they had. And I pulled comparables. I was a real estate appraiser for years. I know how comparables work. I pulled a comparable on my car, and I shopped it around so many different places. Nobody beat it. I thought, this is fantastic. I'm spending $50, and I'm receiving $4,700 off my car. Are you kidding me? Well, guess what that did to my interest rate? Because I bought the car below market, so I got a better interest rate. So I'm actually saving money on my monthly payments too, and on the interest payments. So who knows how much I'm really saving? It's crazy, and that's just on auto. Am I happy as a consumer? You bet I'm happy. Am I happy to offer this to other people? Oh, you bet I'm happy to offer it. This is a heck of a lot easier to share savings than sell somebody a juice or whatever else you want to do. A lot easier. And it's a heck of a lot easier just redirecting their spending instead of setting up an e-commerce store and competing against these guys. I would much rather share revenue with them. So much better. You are literally able to offer exclusive discounts, cash back, convenience to your customers, just like successful multi-million and billion-dollar companies have successfully done before you. But this time, you can also earn while you do it. But how? What is the R-network difference? Here's the secret. It's redirecting spending. This is stuff people buy anyway. Did you know that we have a deal with AliExpress? Did you know that they have over 100 million products? Could you imagine people from all over the globe purchasing merchandise, receiving cash back where they would not normally receive it because they didn't purchase it through our network, through AliExpress, and you get paid because he or she saved money? Over 100 million products in one store. Guess what? We have over 100 stores that have partnered with us. Contracts signed, rolling out in the next 90 to 120 days. We already have over 20 stores in our global mall, on top of the auto, on top of the mortgages, the prescriptions, the medications. You see what's happening here? Overstock. Who uses Overstock? Great deals on Overstock. There's some amazing deals on Overstock. But they're even better through our network because you get cash back. I bought a pair of shoes on Shoe Carnival, another one of our partners. I received cash back on these. I'll receive $8 cash back on my shoes, about 10% off in the form of commission. Staples, so many ways. People already spend money at these places. Now I get paid and I save at the same time. So let's go back to that question. Are discounted marketplaces sustainable? You bet they are. Would they be more exciting if they paid you for referring people? Oh, you better believe it. So this is one thing. This is my favorite question. Would you refer more people to Costco if you earn commission on their purchases? How about Amazon Prime? How about AAA and many other places? But here's a better question. Would you stop paying those memberships, losing out on all of those savings and benefits, if any of these places decided to also pay you on your referrals? Because to me, this is crucial to understand. So important to understand. Whenever you hear, oh, go get me 3 people, go get me a few people. Do I have to refer people? No, you can save money. You can refer 0 people and save money. In a typical networking marketing company, if you refer 0 people, you're not saving money because you're usually spending on a product that's overpriced. So you better darn well love that product. But if you save more than you pay, in a sense, you are earning with 0 people. So before I get into the next slide, let's talk about what people are actually saying. Here's my testimonial. I already kind of shared it. So let's skip over to Jamie's here. Thanks to our network and our mobile, I have saved over 50% of my bill. Yes, 50%. That is $165 back in my pocket. This is monthly. He's paying $50. He's saving $165 a month. I used our mall to buy a watch and saved $125. This is just the beginning. My wife now loves shopping online in the new R mall, everything under one roof, and gets cash back too. Now imagine if you did refer. Now is it so bad to refer people? Because guess what? His wife's saving money. He's saving money. Well, that means people above him are being paid. And they're loving it. They're not overspending. They're saving. I had the privilege of getting to test run our global mall. And boy, was it awesome. Access is super easy and the selection of products is fantastic. I needed a couple pair of new shoes for a while, so I headed over to the shoe carnival, found my favorite pairs in almost no time, took a few minutes to check the competition and see if I was getting a good deal. Lo and behold, I ended up with the BOGO. That's buy one, get one half off, including free shipping. Not only was it less expensive than Amazon, Zappos, and other competitors, but I got cash back and helped put money in my friends' pockets, all for saving money on buying things I already needed. Amazing. Checkout was quick and painless, and the shoes arrived 2 days later and fit perfectly. I can't say thank you enough. Our network love our global mall. How many products did we say AliExpress has? Over 100 million? Now, I want you to think about this for a minute. I'm going to go back to that question. Would you stop paying your membership fees to discount marketplaces if they said, oh, by the way, you can earn additional income if you refer 3 people or more? Would you stop paying those fees? Of course you wouldn't. So why does it scare you if we say, hey, refer 3 people and start building a team? Why is that scary? I guess I can understand why it would be scary in another model, in another platform, but my goodness, if I save money and I say, oh, well, I'm already ahead of the game, so let's go ahead and start earning some money by referring others, and every time I refer another person, I make $2 a month off that person, even before he or she buys anything, because out of that $50, I make $2. So do 9 people above me. And here's what's really cool. Once I sponsor 3 people, I also receive a $50 a month bonus back. Not 3 people more than once. 3 active charter members who are also saving money, I receive a $50 a month bonus back, which means I don't even have to save money, and I'm still making $6 a month because I make the $2 on each one, and I get a $50 bonus. Where else in the world can you have 3 regular customers and earn a profit? Where? You can't at a gym, you can't at a store, you can't online anywhere. 3 regular companies, that's it, 3 regulars, that's all I have. And I'm earning a profit. Oh, and I'm saving money on top of that. If I do it in 7 days, guess what? It gets better. I actually receive a $75 bonus. So I would receive $125, I spent $50. And what makes it even better, you can use your commission now to make your monthly subscription payment, which means you receive $50 a month back. Click the button. I want to use that bonus to pay for my commissions. That means I'm never out of pocket more than once. I came out of pocket one time, $25 fee, one time, admin fee, $50 a month. I go save. Go save a couple $100 your first month. You'll never even worry about the $50 again. Do you worry about the money you pay to Costco every year, or do you enjoy the savings? Do you worry about the money you pay to Amazon Prime, or do you enjoy the savings? If you're getting a better benefit, then money doesn't mean anything because you're getting something better in return. Now you're getting a business opportunity along with it. It changes the whole dynamic. Now the 3 isn't that, it's exciting now. Instead of, oh gosh, not one of these. It's now so flippin' exciting because guess what? This thing is growing like crazy. I personally sponsored about, I don't know, between 80 and 100 people, something like that. But I have a team of close to 12,000. I don't have to go out and bring in thousands and thousands of people. I need to focus on my 3. Make the business free. They help others do the same. And they're doing it, why? Because they're excited. They're saving money. It's a lot easier to share savings than it is sell expensive products. So as this matrix fills out, I'm making $2 per month minimum on every single person. But, this is a big one, what if somebody on my team saved money on a phone or on a car or on a product or another product or another product? We have over 100 million products in just one store. Plus then the other stores that are coming on. There's so many of them. Ask the person who sent you the call. Ask them what those stores are. There's tons of them. You will find items you normally buy. I can almost promise you that because there's so many flipping stores on there. People say, well, what items do you have? I don't know. Thousands of them. There's so many home and garden, sporting goods, couches, watches, electronics. I mean, kitchen and bathroom, everything you can imagine. But what if I'm now making $7.40 per month per member because members started shopping because they like to save money? Oh, but we're also opening more countries, which means we're bringing in more products. Talked about those other additional products over above the online stores. We call them concierge services. The phone, the cars, and mortgages, prescriptions, medications, all these other different things. Well, each country is going to have their own concierge services. That means I can have members I can have a member save on a concierge service in one country and make money on it. I can have someone in Canada save on a pair of pants and get paid here in the United States. And I didn't have to market to them. I didn't have to ship it to them. I didn't have to do any of that stuff. And it just keeps stacking and stacking and stacking. Now my bottom line increases. I'm making more money. I literally have created my own business center for $50 a month, and I'm receiving greater value in return with the savings. That's what we're doing. So people try to compare this to anything else. I don't know what else you can compare it to. I can't. I really can't. Because it's just phenomenal. And as a bonus, you can bring in free customers. We already talked about the 3 and free. What about free customers? That means anybody that shops in your network, saves money, and they're not paying their $50 a month, you get paid on them too. Oh, and by the way, you get paid on your charter members. The people that are paying the $50 a month, you get paid on their free customers as well. You also receive a global bonus pool. Global share pools. What does that mean? Go out and get 10 people signed up and then see what happens. Because when they start paying these bonuses out, man, that means I just told you I had 12,000 people on my team. Would you like to earn every time somebody on my team spends money and you only have 10 people that you brought in? Because you can, you become a founder and you will be able to participate in a global share pool. How about shares in the company? That's what I haven't told you yet. We're going public. What do you think is going to happen to the value of this company? We're growing by over 1,000 members a day right now. What's the value of this company going to be in a couple of years? Over 1,000 members a day. That is a lot of members coming into this thing. Oh, and by the way, we're launching a bank. We've already partnered with the bank. We'll be announcing the bank shortly. And as part of that, everything else is discounted, so why not? We'll just go ahead and, I don't know, pay you on swipes. When your customers, your free customers, when your charter members use their Visa debit card through our bank, which they'll bank at our bank because they're going to receive discounted banking, they swipe that card, even if they swipe it and purchase an item that's not in our network, you get part of those gateway fees. You get paid on those swipes. Now, on top of all of that, what if the same person swiped and purchased an item within our network? Then you get paid twice. Actually, if they're a charter member, you get paid 3 times because you get the $2 a month, you get paid on the swipe, and you get paid on the item. That's triple dipping because you joined our network. Only you can choose to really, truly recognize an amazing opportunity. Only you can choose to do that. Right now, we are inviting you to lock arms and to join the revolutionaries of our network. We'll talk about a little bit about this team and wrap it up. What I love about this team, training on top of training, on top of training, on top of training, marketing, support, free, free, free. We have so many leaders on this team that give their time, their expertise, and teach you how to become an entrepreneur. Teach you to become the person you have wanted to be for many years. Teach you to finally make money in an industry that's been tough. We love it. And if you have made money in network marketing, oh my goodness, this is going to be a lot of fun because you're already ahead of the curve. And now you've got something like this to promote. Seriously. But I love this because I'm seeing little guys make money for the first time. We had a few gentlemen on a call about a week ago, and one of them said, out of the 7 other places I have been a part of, I've made more money on this one against all of those combined. Think about that for a moment. Think about that. Why? The consumer's getting a great deal. You offer that consumer a better deal, a great deal, and you, my friends, will have a viable, sustainable business for $50 a month. Absolutely incredible. Thank you so much for coming out tonight. We will talk to you all next time.